We're back with another episode of Inside Four Lines. This time our special guest is the notable Reggie Swinton, Coach Swinton. So Coach Swinton, just tell them a little bit about yourself, starting off with.
Well, born and raised in Little Rock, Arkansas. Raised around a lot of athletics and a family that's very athletic, and so I kind of came up that way, and sports really been, all I've known, and so it just kind of propelled me to the life I live now, from playing for the Cowboys, the Detroit Lions, and the Cardinals, and now as a high school head coach here at Jacksonville High School.
So you're a high school coach at Jacksonville High School. Many of you don't know, but Jacksonville High School is actually my alumni. So I'm actually from Jacksonville, born and raised, graduated from Jacksonville, and played in Jacksonville. So like many of the other alumni, we've been keeping our eye on you.
Yeah.
And we have been impressed about some of the things that you've been able to do here. But before we get into, the Jacksonville dynamic, how many years have you been coaching? And what route did you take to get into the place that you are now?
Well, my first year coaching was 2007, Arkansas Baptist College. That was the first year of existence. I was a receivers coach, a special teams coach. Then left there, went to Pulaski Heights Middle School, and I volunteered for 4 years. My son has played there. Then got into youth football, started my own football league in 2013, and did that for a while. Still have my team. I don't have a league anymore. And then I got my first shot at high school in 24 in Forest City, Arkansas. And then had a really good year there, turned that program around. Then Jacksonville called me, and now I'm here doing what I love.
So after all those years of coaching, what would you say is your top 3 biggest things that you've learned as being a coach?
You have to relate to the kids. These kids are different these days than we were. They're a little more coddled. They're a little more mama's boys. So you have to know how to adapt. You have to know how to have fun with them, but at the same time, be strict with them. And I think a lot of the time coaches have an issue with kids' discipline because they always are tough on them and don't know how to find that thin line between making them laugh, but also being that father figure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things. Another thing I've learned is that, you just have to instill in these kids the work ethic.
So now you're at Jacksonville, and I guess the question that most of us want to know is, okay, first off, where'd you get this tighten up from? Like the slang, the saying tighten up, where'd you get it from?
Actually, there's a friend of mine named Antonio Dotson. He's the coach for the Central Arkansas Spartans youth football team. He's a big Tennessee Titan fan.
Okay.
And one day I was talking to him. This is even before I even was at Forest City. And, Tennessee had lost the game to somebody. And, I called messing with him. And he told me I better tighten up. And that was the first time I ever heard it. Okay. So then when Jacksonville called me, and I always have these slogans that I use. And so tighten up was the first thing crossed my mind when I agreed to come and take this job. And so, hashtag same but different, tighten up. And then my new hashtag is round 2. This is the second round coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And some people get knocked out in the second round. Right?
Yeah. So, okay, what does tighten up mean?
Just everything we do, we got to tighten up around here.
Okay.
It's been some loose change walking around here. Kids, getting away with everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so, around here we are about discipline. And even in the school building, they're using that. The principal uses it. The assistant principal uses it every morning when she's, giving the announcements. She always end with tighten up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of called hold over here, man. I love it.
Last year, you ultimately gave the program life. And when I say that, people from the alumni started looking back and were like, okay, what is going on in Jacksonville?
Mm-hmm.
So what can we look forward to this next year?
Okay, first of all, I want to go back a little bit. Talk about what happened this past year and why people were paying attention to Jacksonville. And some people call me the Coach Prime of Little Rock. And I like it, but I don't, because here's the thing. Is I was doing this before Coach Prime was, as far as social media, putting my kids out there with my youth football league. Essentially, it is what he's doing, right? You have to, I don't care what goes on, you have to promote your business. And to me, this is a business. These players, they are business. These kids want to go to college. So if they want to go to college, I know what it takes to get there. You got the Ray-Bans, they cold too, man. I know what it takes to get there, man, but you gotta promote your kids. But how you promote your kids is you promote your program. Because any good business has promotion.
Okay, so like you said, you are, well, you say you don't really want to take that name, but they call you the coach from Little Rock, right? So on my latest podcast, I interviewed Montreal Martin. I don't know if you're familiar.
My boy, yeah, I coach him.
Familiar with him. I coach him.
Yeah.
But I interviewed him, and one of the questions that I asked him was about this transfer portal. You know, the NIL, the school of choice, and was it a good thing or a bad thing? How does he feel about it? I recently been, like I said, I've been keeping up, and I see that you got a couple of kids that were at different schools last year. So how do you feel about the school of choice or the transfer portal? And is it something that we should continue doing, or is it something that we should stop?
If you see somebody somewhere doing something that you want, you might want that. And so I can't help the fact that I'm naturally a promoter. I'm naturally who I am. This is not a facade. This is who I am. And I attract kids that want to play football. Now, here go the thing. I don't control where kids go. All I do is promote my kids. And then what happens, happens. When you promote your business, when you promote what you have, people tend to want to get involved in it. What I think should happen in high school across the nation.
Okay.
This is just solely my opinion. I haven't talked to anybody about this. But I think if a kid now got 4 years of high school, when we came up, we had 3 years. We had 10, 11, 12. Now they got 4 years. I personally believe that when a kid hit 9th grade, they should be allowed to transfer one time anywhere they want to go with no penalty. So if you transfer in 9th grade and you go somewhere and you ain't happy, you're mulligan gone, right? If you get to the 11th grade and you realize you want to go somewhere else, you haven't transferred at all, you got your one free transfer. But then once you made your one free transfer, now it goes back to the rules in play. That's what I believe, because you're constricting kids to a system that they might not want to be in. And if we're about these kids, if we're about seeing these kids be successful, then you let the kid go be successful.
Like I said, this is Inside Four Lines, and we give the inside look as far as in the coaches and players world. And I've talked to a couple of people in Jacksonville that are underneath you, and their biggest worry is he gonna stay? That's his biggest worry. That's their biggest worry. That's the question, $1 million question.
Jacksonville, Coach Higginbotham, Dr. German Oil, and our principal, Ms. Katrina Mills. Coming from where I came from in my last administration, this administration gets it. They know what it takes to win. They're giving me everything I need to win. I haven't been told no to anything since I've been here, as long as I'm doing things the right way. I'm not looking to leave Jacksonville. Happiness moves me, and I'm happy. Who knows what the Lord has in store the next 3-4 years. But right now, I got a footprint to leave in Jacksonville. And I'm here, and I'm gonna build something here. But for now, Jacksonville High School, that's me. And so for anybody that's putting rumors out there about me, this year he going that place. No, I'm here. I love it here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you heard it first, and we're here with Inside Four Lines. It's Coach Toombs and Coach Swinton.